you.
Jalmari, hey, Ustavani Mita Kulu. Do I have that right?
Almost.
Almost right. I said I'm gonna get this right. I'm gonna get it right, and my Finnish is not very good, but it's very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So I have to tell you, I was going to John Wick 4. I went to John Wick 4, and then this trailer pops out, and after 2.5 minutes, I've never seen anything like it. I mean, we're not getting into the movie yet, but when I saw SISU, the trailer just blew me out of the seat. Like I really wanted to see John Wick 4, but after I saw the trailer, I'm like, I want to see this movie just as much. Do you find that the trailer, I mean, movie aside, that the trailer gets that reaction? I mean, it is a phenomenal trailer.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of these trailer reaction videos and having some fun with it because
jeez, and what a wonderful movie. I mean, people are in for a treat. It comes out April in the US, April 28th, which I'm very excited. I'm going to see it in the theaters as well. It was wonderful to see it on a screener, but I want to see it in the big screen when it really pops. So looking
it's
forward
totally
to
different ball game with that film.
The sound, this absolutely. Let me ask you. So clearly, I could see over your shoulder two wonderful posters. One of which is an influence of yours, and that being Rambo. But I also feel like, would you say Tarantino's a bit of an influence to you too?
Well, that's something I've been thinking about, because at the same time that I feel it's a bit unfair to be compared with Tarantino if you are basically mimicking the same films as he does,
right?
In a way, because it almost feels like he owns the history of cinema, like with all the westerns and stuff like that, that he can use it, but no one else can without being compared to him. But that said, of course, there probably is. But
yeah, but let me be very clear. This movie is very unique and not like anything I've ever seen. How long did it take you to write?
That was the fastest process of my life of writing a film, because it took something like 2 months to write this. I had this idea like a couple of years before, and I tried to write it back then, but I really couldn't. And so I needed to be angry enough to write it, and when I was, it really came just out. And I wish every process would be as painful as this was.
Yeah, you know, I have to say, Jorma is an unbelievable actor, and my God, it's about as good a performance as I've seen maybe ever. He is phenomenal in this.
Well, he is. I remember being in my chair, looking at the monitor when Atami finds the gold vein in the pit.
Yeah.
How well he acted, because it was probably the second shooting day we had, and I knew from that point that this will be something really cool now.
Oh boy, and I tell you, you created some scenes, and I've heard you say this in other interviews. The underwater scene, I won't go into specifics, but I'm like, that is genius. Like, the idea that the minimal dialogue, and at the end, he hits you with that line in the bank. I couldn't stop laughing. Like, that's when he decides to talk. He's been attacked by Nazis. He's been tormented. He lost his dog. He got his dog. And the one time he talks is at the bank. That was genius. I thought that was beautiful. Perfect.
It was actually one of the hardest things writing it, because I really didn't know how to end the film. I had a lot of thinking about what would Atami do when he has all the money? Like, where do we see him afterwards? And then I realized in some point that we don't need to know that. He's doing his mission, and the film ends when his mission is done. So, and it felt so good when the idea came.
Yeah. My last question to you is, how fun is this to watch with an audience, right? So you screen it on your own many times before editing and so forth. How fun is it to watch it with an audience and watch their reactions?
Well, that's probably the most fun I've ever had in a way. And I've seen with a lot of different kinds of audiences. In Finland, I've seen it in Norway, I've seen it in Toronto, I've seen it in Sitges, I've seen it in Brussels, and one of the coolest was the Midnight Madness crowd in Toronto when the whole theater basically blew up when Atami does his first thing, and what happened in Brussels, because there were like 1,400 people in the room watching the film, and when the first kill comes and what happens afterward, it was like being in a rock concert or in a football match or something like that. There were like toilet paper rolls flying all over. It was fucking great.
Yeah. People are in for a treat. The movie opens April 28th in the US. I am a big fan. Jalmari, thank you so much for giving me a few moments of your time today.
Of course. Thank you.